Carlson is one of the top real estate professionals for selling luxury real estate in Chicago. She's one of the top 25 Lux members in Chicago. I want you first to tell me, for Koenig & Stray, please introduce a little bit about your background, how you got started in real estate.
Well, first of all, Margot, I would love to thank you very, very much because I know your reputation as an interviewer, and it is an honor to be interviewed by you. I also want to say that I love what I do, and it was really by coincidence that this all happened. Quite honestly, because I live in the Gold Coast and I live in Chicago, I know a lot of people, and I've always been told that I am a people person, and I didn't realize that until after I went into real estate and found something I truly love doing.
And how many years have you been in the business?
I've been doing it 16 years and loving every moment of it.
So tell me a little bit about the profile of what's happening in the market today.
Wonderful news. I feel this is a golden opportunity in regards to purchasing and selling. And the reason I say this, because there's value and there's dreams out here. And people buy because of value and they buy because of dreams. I can tell you right now that I have 4 properties that are pending and will be closing this month. And one was bought strictly because of dreams, and another were bought because of value, but they're all kind of intertwined. And quite honestly, there's so much opportunity out there. I would like to encourage everyone to know that, because we read so much about what isn't, and I have to tell you, in my experience, I find that this is very, very true right now, more so than ever.
Well, I understand that. In the last couple of years, we've been kind of in a slow marketplace, but you see a tremendous pickup in the next few months.
I do. I don't know if it's just the business that I do, because you're right, I do a luxury line, and what I find more that what people are doing now is many of the cash buyers feel that this is the time to really invest, because many of them are going into more luxurious properties and bigger properties, and they find that this is the safest place to put their money. And in regard to mortgages, for the jumbo mortgages, many of the buyers that want to, buy that dream home, this is the time. Because now mortgage rates are low. It's like I said, a golden opportunity.
Well, tell us a little bit about the profile of the buyer today. Is there one similar type?
No, every buyer has different needs, but I will say everybody is conscious of, the market and about the economics of everything. And there has been a little hesitation. However, now I find that people have more confidence going forward. They feel more confident nothing else is going to happen, and they see the future as brighter. And luckily, that's how I see it, because that's what I'm experiencing.
So tell me about a couple of your properties. I know you specialize in the Carlisle.
I do. I love luxury buildings, and the Carlisle, without a doubt, is probably, in my opinion, the most luxurious building in the Gold Coast. It not only has the service and the amenities, but it is strictly residential, and people love that at the Carlisle. The Carlisle offers to many of its owners the opportunity to feel like they're living in a home. So it isn't, with a hotel or a lobby where, you can buy a commissary type thing. It's strictly residential. And again, there is no buyer here that is unhappy. They seem to stay forever and ever.
So tell us a little bit about a couple of the properties in the Carlisle.
Happily so. I have a beautiful 2-bedroom, and it is on a high floor, the 34th floor, and it has been really beautifully redone with beautiful floors. There's a jacuzzi, beautiful bath, beautiful finishes, a large living room overlooking East Lakeshore Drive and Oak Street Beach, and of course the Lake Michigan, as well as 2 terraces which are protected with views, because in Chicago you can't build on a lakefront, and you can't change.
So these apartments have spectacular views.
Yes, they do.
More so than some of the other buildings.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Floor-to-ceiling windows, I think you
Yes, floor-to-ceiling windows, large living rooms, wonderful dining rooms, galleries where you enter, you just don't walk into a living room, but you really get the feeling of a home. And closet space, you just, like I said, it imitates a home.
Well, tell me, you also have a new one that is 2 floors, I think, on the top.
It isn't 2 floors. It is the top floor. Again, the Carlisle has residence floors up to 37. So this is the 37th floor, and it is the penthouse floor. So I do have this lovely penthouse apartment that has been combined with a B and a C unit. But what's important about this is you're getting what I just described earlier with the 34th floor, is that you get this wonderful view, this spectacular view of our lakefront and East Lakeshore Drive, Oak Street Beach. It just has everything. And its location on the drive is fabulous because we're so close to everything, but we're still strictly residential.
Which is a real benefit. Well, I'd like to talk a little bit in more detail about how you're so successful. Tell us some of the strategies in this marketplace especially that have made you stand out.
Well, I believe in this. I think if you're enthusiastic about something, and like I am about what I do, and the kinds of properties that I show, I think that comes on to what I'm selling. And I think right there, the buyer or even the seller will have the confidence of knowing that, you know, you're being presented with the right information and with the correct, input of my experience. So I think enthusiasm and the trust factor, because they know that I know what I'm talking about, especially at the Carlisle, I've sold many units here. And with that in mind, I feel that, the confidence level is here.
Are you doing anything different today than you did to be successful in this marketplace? Because I know that you've had incredible sales in the last couple of years, which for a lot of luxury people and real estate as I'm sitting back, that's unique.
Well, you always learn. Our market has changed radically since when I started, which was about 16 years ago. At one point, what we did was we relied on the written page. And now we find ourselves more into the internet, and people are very savvy about, especially the younger buyers, they really know how this works. They look for that. So I'm trying to make that transition as well. However, again, I would like to say once you build up a reputation and you know what you're talking about, it does come back to you. I have a networking of people that expands not only in the Chicago area, but in the suburbs. And it's basically because, I've done hard work. I've sold everywhere, but I do seem to be focusing more